Hello, radiant being. Take a deep, luxurious breath with me. Not to fix anything, just to arrive. My name's Suzanne Arden. I'm the author of the series You Perfectly Remembered. This is day 8 of 21 days of remembering your value. Today, we're going underneath language, underneath logic, underneath explanation. I want to talk about the moment before you have words. I remember sitting across from someone once. The conversation was fine, polite, civil, normal, but something in my chest tightened. Just slightly. Nothing dramatic, nothing explosive, just a flicker, and my mind immediately went to work. You're overthinking this. You're just being sensitive. It's really not a big deal. So I stayed, smiled, nodded, and continued the conversation. And later, much later, I realized that flicker was information. But by then, I had already overridden it. Before you had language for it, your body knew. That tightness in your chest, that subtle dread before a conversation, the heaviness you feel after certain interactions, the way your shoulders tense in certain rooms. You were trained to override these feelings, to be logical, reasonable, to be understanding. Don't be dramatic. Don't make it awkward. So you negotiated with your instincts. Maybe I'm overreacting. Maybe I misunderstood. Maybe it's not that bad. This is what friends do. And slowly you stop trusting that first signal. You learn to wait for proof that something was wrong, proof that someone meant harm, proof that you weren't just imagining it. But your body is not impulsive. It's perceptive. It registers tone shifts, energy changes, subtle inconsistencies, micro expressions, pauses that last half a second too long. Long before your mind assembles the explanation. And every single time you dismiss it, you teach yourself not to listen to your body. Every time you override that tightening, that whisper, that internal pause, you erode self-trust. Not dramatically, quietly. Trust doesn't usually break in one big betrayal. It erodes through repetition, through moments where your body says no and you say yes, through moments where your body says leave and you say stay, through moments where your body says speak and you say later. And here's the cost. When you don't trust your body, you start outsourcing your decisions. You ask 5 people for advice. You overanalyze. You wait for consensus. You wait for certainty. But certainty rarely arrives because certainty isn't the signal. Awareness is. Value begins in the micro moments. The pause, the tightening, the flicker of no, the subtle leaning forward of yes. Not when everything collapses, not when the evidence is overwhelming, when it first whispers. That whisper is power, but it requires you to tolerate discomfort because acting on it might mean saying something sooner, leaving earlier, asking directly, holding a boundary, trusting your read. And trusting your read means risking being wrong. But here's a deeper truth. You're not too sensitive. You're preceptive. You're not dramatic. You're attuned. And attunement is strength. Your body doesn't overreact. It adapts. And now it's asking to be trusted again. You don't need to justify your knowing. You don't need to explain your instinct. You don't need to gather a jury. You just need to notice. And the more you notice, the more your inner authority stabilizes. Because remembering your value means remembering that your perception counts. You are not becoming valuable. You are remembering that you always were. I will see you tomorrow. As always, love, Suzanne.